I was very nervous. That was the week they gave me a microphone. I didn't get one last week. That's not true. I'm doing some interviews before the game on another station. No, that's your sister station, right?
KBVO.
KBVO.
That's correct.
And they say you got to do this thing with Studio 512. Now, I don't watch, no offense, I get off the air and I don't want any more noise. I already have that high-pitched tinnitus that goes on all day. And I have a 9-year-old girl who is a terrorist. So I already hear the noise.
Right.
And so I'm thinking, I was thinking I need a haircut. And it just came to my head. I couldn't control it. And I said, oh, a salon. And
Studio
I haven't heard
512,
the end of it. Now, I got to say this, though. You guys, we've had more television coverage than when we had a budget in the 90s. And we actually
Thank you for that.
We actually
I think
had,
it goes both ways.
We had
Thank
some
you.
fun produced commercials that cost a ton of dough back in the day, which radio doesn't have anymore. So I do appreciate the plugs. I really do.
The hair plugs?
You wanna get into this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
That's why I
Friggin'
came in this
fighting
morning.
What does your
Nice.
husband do?
He's a firefighter.
Oh, I thought it was just put up with you.
I know, that too.
Now, can you tell us everyone's names, Dale?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I
No.
can't.
He was
Don't look at a
giving
piece of
the cheat
paper.
sheet.
Don't look at a piece
What
of
does
paper.
it matter? They had masks on to cover up those horrendous faces.
Fair.
No, they're
Fair.
once again, television doesn't hire ugly people
That's true.
at all.
Well, you guys are on
The
TV.
exception,
now, so.
Right.
I think the exception was, what was her name on? That doesn't matter. I don't want to point
Are you
it out.
going to name one specific person?
Yes.
They don't hire other
That was
people.
horrible.
Yes.
Except for...
What was her name? She's a big Scientologist. What was her name? Greta Van Susteren. Exception to the rule. Jeannie Most. Okay,
Now
enough
we're,
of that.
now
No
we're finding
comment.
multiple examples.
But you notice they never get rid of Hadlock.
Oh, I love Robert.
I love Robert Hadlock.
Who
Robert
doesn't?
Hadlock is
He's
listening
dreamy.
this
He's a
morning.
he's
He
a
is.
legend.
And he's
Great
He's
so
hair.
always been nice.
kind.
He's always been nice to me.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
He's
that-
also dapper. And
Have you
I
ever
don't want to compare outfits, but
have
look
you
at you today.
ever? He's what? What is
Oh,
wrong
what
with me
happened to
today?
the
He's got
baseball
matching
shirt?
pocket
I
squares.
started to wear a button-down polo shirt.
Instead,
And
he
then I
wore his
said-
sex jacket.
And said, don't you start. I swear to God, you need your ass kicked.
Well, you better hire someone who won't get winded doing it.
Oh.
Tell us about your sex jacket.
Hold on.
What?
No.
He wore this jacket during sex one time because he said he felt cold. So now we have made fun of him for the last 3 years that is his official sex jacket.
Here's the problem.
During?
I
During,
share things.
he said he felt chilly, so he put the jacket on.
I also don't
But-
want my wife to see anything above the waist. As a matter of fact, nothing below the waist.
It's a real
No,
sexy time there.
I come in here and bring the material that I know I'm going to get my balls busted for. Sort of like that. And they don't give as much as I give, and then I just never
does
hear
that
the,
mean?
I never hear the end of it. You don't.
He's admitting that he doesn't let us
you,
talk.
You don't. You think
That's
there's.
why he sits in the center.
Excuse me. I've
Yeah.
been with
Oh,
Bob
yeah.
for 30 years. Bob will come in, and if we're busting his balls, he thinks he's being picked on that day. I'm picked on every
racial.
single day. You're not. There's no race. You've never suffered because of your race. You're a white guy.
That's not what
you're
Ancestry says.
Doesn't matter. You're a very tan white guy. I've been in your house. So I don't remember why. You know what? It was probably a quickie or something where we just went at it. And I left the jacket. She said, "Are you going to take your jacket off?" I said, "No." I just said jacket off.
What's wrong?
I mean, when you say it, I think,
There's a
well,
lot.
you clearly think you look great in this jacket. So if that's like your, you go out and you put out the
No,
vibe,
I
I can
Right.
see it.
I was gonna wear a shirt. I said I should go put on another shirt, and then I said,
You know,
"Why?
his
Why?
sex shirt.
Why? You're married. They're married.
like
and,
a swimmy shirt.
and
Yeah,
it doesn't.
yeah, exactly.
And it
Yeah,
doesn't.
we're not in a game anymore.
No, and it's like I
It's a
put on
very
the.
nice sex jacket.
I put on the.
See?
Yeah.
I put
See,
on
he
the-
won't
good
just
choice.
take.
It's
he
real
won't just
leather.
take a compliment.
It's real leather.
No, and it's just like I said.
Real leather.
I'm just going to get my balls busted, so why not?
And it turns
So-
out
It's not bonded
that,
leather.
Turns out that silicone lube makes a
Also,
wonderful treatment for leather. So
I don't-
it's very soft, very soft.
Supple. I think it's the word you use.
Well, listen to him laugh. Just shows you TV people who pretend to be all on the.
Well, let's
Hi.
address that elephant in the room.
They know what silicone lube is.
Let's address that elephant.
Hold on.
How
Hey,
great,
enough
how
ganging
great
up on
is
Dale.
it to be a television star? Because radio people,
wouldn't
we're the
know.
scourge of
Yeah,
the city.
clearly we're not television stars.
We're the scourge.
In a hair salon.
We're the scourge of the city, and everybody's like, when TV people walk in a room, it's like, oh
We're the
my
scourge
gosh.
of our fans
Yeah, that's true.
on
They're
Friday.
dedicated, though. I mean, Fish, angry at you, but he's never given up.
That's true.
He's never
That's
going
true.
up trying to talk about Frisbee golf, which nobody cares about.
Frolfing.
It's got to be great, though. All the
Frolf.
free
Live
stuff
to
you guys get and the
Ooh.
parties you get. I bet you guys were out
You
at that
do.
golf tournament.
I bet-
I bet you guys were out there
last
free,
night, so
right?
We're
Bob.
actually a little tired today.
Bob,
It was
have you seen TV people have to shoot their own stories on an iPhone
Not
now?
these ladies. No.
They don't
Oh.
always.
Their studio.
False.
this is how you see us on TV. Is
Do you
Really?
not
our
have
phone.
to? You don't have
We're
to
not
talk,
doing
and that's
everything from
nothing
home.
against
We
KX.
haven't-
That's not against KXAN.
Correct.
All media has been beat up pretty much.
guys-
'cause there's a This is actually a misconception. Some advertising agencies have a misconception that everything should be digital, and they found out that there's not as much engagement on digital as they think. There's still 96% of the people still listen to radio, and I'm sure it's similar with television. You know.
You guys have done the entire year from home,
We are
from
celebrating.
remote.
We said celebrating. What does that mean? But we've
Celebrating
been
1 year.
An
one
entire
year
year.
Wow.
from home now.
Is it
yeah.
going to be weird when you actually go back in the studio now?
Yes, it's
Very
weird,
weird.
to put on shoes.
Yeah, this is the
It's
first time
super
I've wore
weird.
a full outfit. I mean,
And she's been told to take
and
that
I
jacket off already.
Yeah, I
Are
put
you
it
like
together,
some anchors, like guys will have shorts on and then their
Definitely.
suit top?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Have
we don't
you-
wear pants.
Do you wear? What about?
Well,
Got pants on.
we'd love for you guys to feel right at home.
Oh,
so
yeah, thank you. So kind.
Where
We're
are
not
y'all?
wearing
Where are
pants.
y'all
Hospitable.
originally from, Rosie?
I am from Springfield, Missouri, hometown of Brad Pitt, and Breast Pro Shops. That's what we got.
So
Nice.
you're like,
Yeah.
did you go to Mizzou?
I did go to
Have you
Mizzou.
ever-
I'll
They
give
have a
that.
broadcast journalism school there.
Except
it's considered.
I didn't go to it, but
Oh,
yes.
and then you found your way in later.
I became
You're not in trouble. It's
I
okay.
I got a master's degree in atmospheric science, so that's why I came down here. I'm shocked you guys haven't
You're a-
recognized my 15th runner-up status in the journalistic integrity
I'd
test.
like to give you a round of applause.
That's why I thought you were in here before. I thought we interviewed you for that.
if we
No,
had,
You didn't
I mean,
come
they
in?
wouldn't allow that. Come
They
on.
wouldn't?
if
They
we had
wouldn't.
seen you with no pants, you would have been hired.
I would have made it.
Have
to
you
run.
tried
you-
to figure out where you rank in famous people from your town?
Oh.
Ooh.
No, I mean, who else do we have besides old Brad? We got Doug. Doug is Brad's brother, Doug Pitt.
We've talked to him.
Have you really?
Yeah.
I'm the.
We called-
I think
You
I'm
couldn't
the.
get
I'm
Brad.
the
You're more
He worked in the
famous than
hardware
Doug.
store
I-
there, right?
I think
I
I'm the,
would be unsurprised.
Home
I'm-
Depot or
Yeah.
I
something?
think I'm the 8th or 9th most famous person from Tyler, Texas.
Ooh,
Well,
hey,
We got
that's
Earl
cool.
we got Sandy Duncan, Earl
Earl
Campbell,
Campbell,
Randy
Kevin-
Grimes that played in the NFL.
Kevin Eltife.
Kevin, goddamn, Kevin Eltife, and who's the head of the Regents of UT now.
Oh wow.
And there's several others.
Highfalutin.
Nobody cares. Where are you from?
You know what? I actually think I might be the number one from my town, a tiny town called Linden, Washington. I don't think anyone else does. They all stayed there and worked on dairy farms. So by default, I might.
I've got
I
nipples,
might be
Greg.
one or
Were
two.
you? Yeah. Were you originally going to be? Is that where you were headed? Was dairy farming, and then you pivoted?
I love milking a cow.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Did you grow up on a
A
farm?
last minute twist.
I grew up near a farm, so my backyard was like, there was a barn, there were cows, there were all the things. But
Did you go to high school in Linden?
I did.
So did you do a lot of that, like weekend, like driving up to the Sonic or whatever you had there? And
the Dairy Queen.
Okay, a Dairy Queen.
Yeah, and sit in the parking lot and
Drink
the
in the back
trucks would
seats
go.
and-
My
Yeah.
daddy ran the Dairy Queens.
Yeah.
Tyler.
Did he?
Yes, he did.
Ah,
That-
that's
I
Yeah,
mean,
he did.
not having this job, that's famous status.
Yeah, well,
That
yeah, you
is-
know, I let the white people work up front. Black people, you got to work in the kitchen.
It was a different time.
It was 1974 when we moved there.
Yeah.
Listen.
Hey, but
So-
Tyler is still in the 1850s.
Oh yeah,
isn't
they're
it?
moving right along. So, do you have husbands?
That one does.
Oh,
I
you
do.
do. Did you meet him
Firefighter.
here, or does he travel with you? Because when you're in TV, sometimes you go market to market.
No, actually, I traveled with him here. So we met on my show in Houston, and he came on as like the firefighter calendar guy, and got a job as a firefighter
So
here.
apparently there's a big
Okay.
divide.
So you went for
between
looks. You went-
calendar versus.
You went for looks.
Yeah.
And youth. Hmm.
He's younger. Is he younger?
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's a good guy. He's a nice man, but he is also nice to look at, of course.
He's gone for like 72 hours a week or something.
Actually, no, they have a really good schedule here.
Yeah.
So they do 24 on, 48 off. and then they go in at noon. So
Does he
shift
ever
change is
wear
noon.
his fire gear when you make love? Like I do this
He
leather.
does
Do
not
you know
have
I don't
a
even
fire
know. I don't
sex
even own a motor.
jacket.
I don't
a
even
leather
own.
jacket.
I've never even owned a Harley either. This was a giveaway item.
Oh man.
So.
It's
Nope.
very fancy.
And I'm also trying to sit up straight so you don't see my belly as much. I don't know why.
There's a whole computer screen that's blocking everything but like
Good.
that much of you.
Good.
So you look great,
So
my
what
friend.
was the conversation like when I walked away? Can you believe that? He thought we worked at a salon.
Well,
There's nothing
I'd like
wrong
to
with
repeat
working at a
back
salon.
to you what your
No,
exact...
please don't.
Please do.
He
Please
said,
don't.
well,
Please do.
what
He's
he
outvoted.
did is he said, did somebody get a free haircut? And the thing is, we're lifestyle. We talk about hair all the time. So we were like, it was like the calculating meme. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
Where
right,
it's like,
right.
hang on, what
Which
what
angle
might
is he
have-
taking?
We may have given a
Right.
free
We
haircut
thought
away
he
this
was like
week.
in the know.
No.
So
Right.
it took a minute for us to realize that we
No.
were in fact being painted as a hair
And I had an
salon.
assistant that night. He just said Rosie and Stephanie from Studio 512, and I'm sitting there going, okay, I hadn't heard the
You should have been briefed.
name of the show.
I blame the team. You should have been
Had you
briefed.
heard of our? Well, yeah, you
like
heard
I
of our
blame
show.
y'all's
I've
Wikipedia
been on
page.
your show
Right, no.
before.
Yeah.
Have you?
I have.
no memory of it. It must not
know.
have been very impressive.
It wasn't.
No, when were you on?
Fortunate.
How
I
do
remember.
Do you
About-
remember how we objectified you
I
or
do
anything?
remember
His
actually.
Wait.
searing memory.
And I have.
Can I think you were on the show, didn't you? Had just moved to town, right?
Yeah.
And you,
Oh, okay.
memory.
And wasn't it actually from Mitch?
Yeah.
Mitch invited.
Oh, that's
You're
right.
in that picture there.
Oh.
God, don't show me pictures of myself.
One of us.
Jesus.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
showing you the picture
Quit
of me.
showing me
in,
I know,
stop
but
looking
I
at
can
yourself.
see. You don't understand. I still think I'm tall and skinny. It just I really can't.
I mean,
look
you're
at
a lot
pictures.
taller than
Quit
I am.
showing me
Yeah.
the picture.
Yeah. I do remember you guys said something about my shirt. My shirt, it said Mighty Fine across the front.
Well,
and
hold
I
on
remember
now.
that morning.
That was a favor because I was like, okay, why are we? You would do the same thing. Why are we interviewing?
Oh yeah,
her?
I
Yeah.
didn't
He
know
said-
why I was being
Mitch
interviewed.
just said you got to meet her. She's got
Yeah.
a great personality and she's looking for a TV job here in town.
you got it.
town.
and look what happened. I cut
And
hair
I
for a
didn't
living
wanna
now.
well, I didn't want to say anything, but Hadlock called me and the GM called me and said, "What do you think of this girl?" And I said, "Well, it depends on how she's going to dog me in the future, but I think you should hire her."
I still don't think Hadlock knows that
a
I
growing
don't cut hair.
suspicion
So.
that the only person you know at KXAN is Robert Hadlock.
No, I think I know some other people, but I'm not sure. It's been a long
Is
time.
Neil Spell still over there? Is Neil Spell still in that market?
Neil Spells was at 7, you idiot.
I know. And he was gone, what, 25 years ago?
At least.
Yeah. All right, well, there's a lull in the conversation.
No.
So what
Well,
now?
I'm looking something up real quick.
Their hair salon?
Well,
No.
actually, and I do
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like we have to talk about this because Stephanie has lived, for looking so youthful, she's lived many lives, and including one of them where she legitimately was a hairstylist.
I was.
which added to our confusion.
Were you
I-
really?
These are real.
Yeah.
And this was my life once upon
I know,
a
I
time.
got a
Well, yeah,
haircut
you know how
on
to hold them and
Saturday.
everything.
This is what I hear.
Yeah, I got a buzz cut. You know.
That was after we offered the free haircut, though. So I'm wondering if you did that. Like,
no, I really didn't think about it.
I think they
we
missed a
had,
spot.
We had one of our biggest advertisers come in who he says I haven't made him angry, but I think I have. I called him one day, but he came in and talked to Bob and Matt about advertising. He just turned to me and went, "You need a haircut." And I went, "Oh, okay, well, I'll get a haircut."
Yes,
should have
sir.
called Studio
Yeah.
512.
Yeah. So
But no, I did. I did not take the route that Rosie did. I went to hair school. I went to beauty school once upon a time. Learned to cut
beauty
hair.
school dropout.
I wasn't a dropout.
You cut your husband's hair?
Graduation
I do
day.
not cut my
No.
husband's hair. He actually has like long curly-ish hair right
Oh, okay.
now.
Oh, of course.
He's been,
Wait, is
he's
this
been
guy-
growing it out.
Does he have a modeling job on the cover of romance novels as well? You
Fabio
really
is his
painted this
name.
dude, like,
Yes.
long,
He's-
flowing
no,
locks,
he's not. No, gosh, not
firefighter.
like that.
do you notice I'm holding in?
My-
I'm holding in every dirty joke I had
I
because
know.
they're in here.
My
being
wife.
Why?
We're being very
You don't
polite.
think we can take it?
No, it was really base. what I
My
was
wife
about
and
to
I
say,
had been
so.
together a very, very short time. In fact, we weren't even married. And she set my house on fire that I had just renovated. It was the very
What?
first day that my kitchen was done. And when I renovated it by hand. I had no other buddy helping me. I was all excited.
humble brag! I'm the real man in the room.
She,
I am impressed.
When I say she set the house on fire, I mean it was walls up across the ceiling, and she called the fire department, and the fire department showed up. I managed to get the fire out by the time they got there, and she went from crying and panicking to when they kicked in the door, I noticed that she suddenly went, and dolled herself up a bit, and then started chatting with them. And I was like, did you do this on purpose? This feels like it was a thing to make me very jealous. And she was like, well, they were kind of good looking. I think that
She wasn't sure if you were going to pan out. You got to keep options.
Stephanie.
I didn't pan out. She just made some bad moves and got stuck with me.
Stephanie, why aren't you married?
There's a good question.
Yes.
Your mom called us and asked us to ask you.
You're now addressing the wrong Stephanie, because
Yeah.
that is, in fact, Rosie.
That's Rosie.
Awesome, actually. Awesome.
This is
I did it
It's
on
like
purpose.
it's like the rugby game all over again.
we're PTSD.
Oh my God! Here's the deal. I'm a psychic. Oh my God! I shouldn't have said that. I had something's happening, going to happen to you. I meant that was the future. I saw you in the future. I'm sorry.
Believable.
I'm sorry,
Do tell.
Rosie. Why aren't you married?
I would say that there's a real Peter Pan syndrome across Austin, where people come here because it's fun and they feel
Yes.
like they can have.
You need a grown man.
Thank you.
Are you
can take-
dating men your age?
I am going on dates with people up to 20 years
twice
older
your
than I.
age.
Yeah.
Very good.
Hey, listen, not a joke. My wife, I'd met her 2 years before, and I actually, if these guys weren't in the room, I have a very romantic story. And I
be
didn't.
embarrassing.
The day I met her, I introduced her to someone else. I said, "I think I met your wife," but because she was too young for me. And when I met her, it knocked me in my heart for real.
Aw.
It didn't for her. And I went up to this hotel room where she was working, or she was working in the hotel. I went up to my room and I fell. I literally did a spread eagle on the bed and said, "Oh, I've waited too long," because I was in my early 40s. And then 2 years, we just stayed in touch kind of on MySpace of all things. And then 2 years later, she sent me an email and said, "My boyfriend broke up with me. We go to dinner. I'm not trying to mac on her." I said, "You need to date older men that, like she was 24. I said 23, something like that. 22. And I said, "You need to date someone who is, close to 30 or over 30 because they're not going to cheat on you like your boyfriend because they're thinking in the future." And we were leaving that night.
Good move, by the way.
And I said, "Well, it was great having dinner with you. And for the first time in my life with a beautiful woman, I didn't have it in my head to try." And she grabbed my hand and said, "Can we go have one more drink?" And we were pregnant 8 weeks later. I carried the baby.
Sex jacket went on that
And
night.
we've been together now for, I always forget, my son's about to be 15, so we've been together for, I think, 16 or 17 years.
That's a nice story.
Yeah, she's a great gal.
Yeah.
And she puts up with me, and she puts up with me wearing a jacket during sex. So
She is a treasure.
What a good
She's
woman.
a find.
I don't believe it's just the men with the Peter Pan syndrome.
Oh, you think there's something wrong with me?
Yeah, everybody's
That's
got
fine.
a child. No. Everybody's got a childhood. The commitment thing is tough.
Oh, yeah. No, that's true.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. How long was your last relationship?
Ooh, this is getting...
Yeah,
Yeah, this is what we do.
He wants you to.
He
This is-
leans
He wants to paint
in.
you as the ankler.
Stephanie just swapped, you know what I mean? She's just like, he's
Well,
a
no,
firefighter.
you get to
that's
be
it.
Stephanie now.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
That's
That's right.
I'm terrible with names. It'll never get fixed. I'm very sorry. I had it in my head. I swapped things around. I'm mentally ill. I've been in 4 or 5 mental hospitals, and y'all are making fun of a disabled person. Give me that back.
That's very convenient timing, that piece of
It
information.
is.
No,
Yes.
but we have
Should've led with that.
have a male audience. They're on camera. I'm embarrassed, and you're very attractive, and guys think that's all there is. So that's a fair question as to why you're not hooked up. How long was the last relationship?
Ooh, it was like 2 years
Here in town?
here in town.
You dumped him, didn't you?
I left him.
So he's still, I bet he's listening.
I don't know. He was a fan of y'all's show. He was a fan of
I'm
y'all's show.
sorry, dude.
I
Because
don't
I'm
know.
telling you, he's.
Wait a minute, was it Rumplemince Larry?
Fish.
After
Is that why he's
how
Which is
long-
an awesome
How
thing.
long ago?
Yeah.
How long ago was it?
That was like 3 years ago. So
Okay,
he
he
might
may-
be a whole new person.
He's probably getting over it now, but I guarantee you for that first year,
It hurt a bit.
it hurt. And I bet you
it
he
hurt.
could not turn on KXAN, and I bet you he couldn't drive near the studio.
He did say something to me once about like, I saw that you were on TV today, and I caught you on TV, and it just reminded me maybe I should reach out. And I was like, I'm on TV
How about
every
not?
day.
Now-
Like that is
now-
such a
Sorry, dude, if you're
lame
listening,
goal.
just don't.
My nephew got dumped and was heartbroken, and I'd been through it 1,000 times. Like I said, I can't help you. Nothing I say is going to help you. It's 8 months, 10 months go by, and the girl called him, and he called my wife, and he goes, "What does it mean? What does it mean?" And I said, "Don't tell me your interpretation," to Amanda, my wife. Let me give you mine and see if I'm right. She wants to make sure he's still on the hook. And she went, exactly. So
Did you Bob Sugar him at a restaurant? Did you in a crowded
after
restaurant?
the breakup, did you make any random calls just to check on him?
God, no. If you're going to get into my personal life, my mom's a bit of an Elizabeth Taylor style, like 4 husbands. We're on number 4 now. And she has imbued in me rules about how you get over things. She calls it the pushing over the refrigerator. Sometimes it doesn't go well the first time.
The splitting of the sheets.
Back. You got to have a lot of energy to get that final push over. And so when it happens, I'm out. Don't call.
What happened?
Wow, sounds like Bob's found his
Ghoster.
match.
No, what happened that was the breaking point? I'm sorry, is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm just saying when I decided.
When it's
Okay.
over, it's over.
No,
It's
and
over.
I got
Can I guess?
lost.
Because it happens in the
Hold
city
on.
a lot. You were making investments in a relationship, and he was just like, well, this is really comfortable to have everything done for me. And he
Yeah.
was making no investments until you split. And then he was like, well, wait a minute. What can I do to fix this? Because the town has 2 million single people in it, and everybody gets the mindset that, oh, I can just do this and date forever. And then they get really lonely when they think somebody else
2
is
things. The reason I
in
checked
their
out
spot.
is the minute you say Elizabeth Taylor, I hear my dad's voice.
She's a bitch.
My dad delivered bread. My dad was a bread delivery guy in the 60s, and he went to the set of the movie Giant with James Dean. So he had a big story to tell about celebrity, and he would go, oh, yeah, I'll tell you what, that Jimmy Dean, that James, not the one with the sausage, but that James Dean, he was a nice guy. And Rock Hudson, I mean, you couldn't tell he was clear. And he was nice. He was good. But that Elizabeth Taylor's a bitch. She's a bitch. She wouldn't even come out of her trailer. So that's where that comes from. And also, you said into your
Probably
personal life,
taking a nap.
it's refreshing when TV people tell something about themselves, and they don't do it enough. I think it's more human. So we're not trying to embarrass you.
We have faults.
Rosie,
Yeah.
if I give you a bit of information here, when I was on the show, 3 years ago?
Did you get grilled?
They found out that I had been married before and pulled my ex-husband up
We did?
on
Did we
Facebook.
really?
Yeah, so you
That
guys
doesn't
dug
sound-
up.
That's horrible.
You dug up.
Was that Jimmy's producing back
That's
there?
horrible.
Doesn't sound
It
like
was
us.
during the show, so
Did we really?
yes, this does happen.
That sounds like something I wouldn't.
Oh,
wouldn't
my
That
goodness.
sounds
You
like
were
something
like, who is this?
I wouldn't do that today.
No. Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Well, you would, but you'd pull up the wrong name. But I don't think. Yeah, why did we do? I don't think that was probably the goal. We probably just decided we wanted
but
to
probably
you'll
looked
dig,
up
they'll dig deep.
Facebook
So
pictures or something?
I did get my
Okay, so
my
what's
past dug up. A
But
little
anyway,
what's the
it's
net?
funny
of
you
this?
would say that. Rosie, your ex is in the other room.
Yeah,
Let's
right.
bring him in, Chew. Bring him in, Chew.
What's
guys
the net
knew.
of your appearance here? That I'm terrible at names, and
They're gonna cut your hair.
I'm.
You guys have been nicer
No,
so far,
they're
quite
not,
frankly. than
dude.
we
There's no
expected.
hair to cut unless it's somewhere
It's
else.
kinda
And I
little.
got no hair on my body.
No, they're gonna shave your scrot. That's the deal.
See, if I said that, it would have been gross. But cute coyote
It
said
was
it,
very cute. It was nice.
and they wouldn't be shaving hair; they'd be shaving speaker wire.
Yeah, they're gonna have to pull out something bigger than the clippers to get through your
All right.
old man.
Well,
What about these? Can I?
if you want to
give 'em a
snip
go?
a
No.
little of my hair, feel free.
I
It's,
think you
we
should.
we
Put it
needed
in
to feel like we came and did a haircut.
She operated a salon. She knows what she's doing.
okay, cut. If that's going to
Although,
make her
wait,
feel
she did not go by Stephanie during that time, and I do
No.
feel like we have to
Oh.
mention that. She
Yeah.
was not allowed to have her name.
Yeah, once upon a time I was Anna.
Oh wait, did you work in one of those salons where they rename you?
Well, yeah, you couldn't have more than one Stephanie, but it was during school. So eventually, when I was like a real hair colorist, I had my name back. But for a year, I was Anna. So I've had a few
So
different.
Anna, the
Are you?
hairstylist.
Did I hear you say you're a meteorologist?
Used to be, yeah. I mean,
you did the weather?
technically, they can't take the degree away from me.
You
but,
know that
yeah.
Dale
used to do a lot of weather.
a lot of
Yeah.
weather
Did
back in the day.
you?
I have this ton of reel-to-reel tapes when I started. I started when I was 17. And there are no reel-to-reel recorders. And I was a kid, and I thought, I need to save that. That was a good show. Every single break is me doing the weather. I thought I was going to get a job. I mean, read a card, a community calendar, and then do the weather. And
Maybe
I had
the time.
and I have do not erase on them. 4 hours work. And what we found is the stuff that I said, do not erase. That's the stuff that's funny. that we're bringing in. So I'm going through them one at a time.
Was it because when old Jimmy Spencer started doing weather, it was you had to push a cube in a wall so that it had 4 sides, it would lie flat. So you had exactly 4 sides to work with.
I remember
That's
when this was way before when I was a kid. I remember weather people used a plastic cloud and they would put it on felt.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
To hang
Cloudy
on.
here.
Listen, you're both
Bring it
lovely.
back.
Are y'all coming out for any more games?
I don't know. We got
I
embarrassed.
missed
on
the
field.
singles game.
Oh
this
my
weekend.
God.
I know.
Oh my God.
We might. Are you still announcing? Will you remember us?
I don't want to get into it. Last week we had some technical problems. I'm doing some
frustrating.
I do want to
pre-game
get
interviews.
into it. Why can't you get into it?
They
You've asked us
There was
a lot
a technical
of
issue.
questions.
There was there were only 2 microphones, and Knox had one, and Bob had one. And Knox is doing an incredible job, and so is Bob. And I'm not just saying that. I have never seen a man Jim Knox age that has that much energy. So I just didn't have a mic that worked. So I just kind of lumbered around and just insulted people by not remembering their name. So
And
that's
Knox
what I
is
did
the
last week.
face of the, hey, you don't know rugby terms because y'all are dumb. Here's what they are.
Yeah, but it's
I
great.
No, he does a really
Yeah.
nice job. I'm saying that on our behalf because I had no idea what I was looking
Today, what time does the show start?
11.
at. 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you going to say about us?
Got none.
That we're sexist?
We're
actually
actually
in a-
not on air.
we're
We're
in a
not talking
rerun
about y'all
today.
until Monday.
Oh,
got
So
okay.
you
Oh.
have the whole weekend to make it up to us.
Um,
Oh, God damn it.
Rosie,
Flowers.
Rosie, my wife is
Gotta
young
buy some
and
goddamn
beautiful.
Tiss treats.
My wife is young and beautiful. We're both real estate agents now. She knows a lot of people. You want us to hook you up?
I mean,
Ooh.
yeah. I will never say no to someone being like, you know what? Maybe just this one guy, give him a chance.
Sure.
I'll go.
Do you want like a clean living, handsome dude?
Put it out there. What do you want?
Clean lip. Does it involve eating Wickles? Because I've been looking at those. They're one of the best pickles.
Are they really? Somebody
How
sent
do
them to
you
us. Someone sent
been
us as a
sitting here
gift, and now
for
we
like 5
use them
years.
as like a talisman, like a good luck charm. They've been sitting here for probably half a decade. So
That's
they
You
just
my-
live there
need
now.
to go purchase a second jar that is not the talisman and give them a
Okay.
try because they're delicious.
That's look at that lovely woman. She's with a big old fat
she's
guy.
so beautiful.
I think-
Oh,
She knows everybody. All right, listen.
You just-
Studio 512, and it comes on again at what time? Usually.
11 a.m.
11 a.m.
to
Monday
noon
through Friday.
on
12.
KXAN.
Well, you're only working 2 hours?
Well,
1 hour.
1 hour and
11 to noon.
11 to noon.
yeah.
a lot of prep.
Can't
though.
count
And
on
we
it.
work from
math.
home, so
Well, I want to thank you for being part of my last thoughts before my suicide. So there's nothing like a
I
Friday.
loved being here. Oh,
Happy
hey,
to
wait.
help.
Before we go, we wanted to say our friend D. We call him
oh,
Mama
D
Bear.
Sway. You know him as D Sway.
Yes.
What's his name again?
Dustin Swayla.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mama Bear.
He listens
It's
every
not a
single
D.
day.
It's not a D. It's not D. Sway is
He's the guy-
literally
Oh, it is a
our
D's
engineer.
nut.
If I
Every time
said
we
my
do
friend D, what would you say?
nuts.
Thank you.
And he loves that joke.
He does.
We just wanted to say a shout out to him.
All right,
Yeah.
listen.
Enjoy hanging out with your cats, Dustin.
That's
Yes.
exactly it.
Enjoy hanging out with all your
Poor
I
cat.
He
am
loves
now
it.
I'm now 6 minutes late on the break. So
So?
I gotta.
You were late heading into this. Don't blame us.
Yeah, can't blame us, bud. We know the lingo. We heard it in
It's
there.
worth the promotion. It's worth the cross promotion. Just take it.
All right, next time you need a haircut, you know who to call, though. Okay.
Next time you need somebody to tell you shut your mouth, talk to your husband.
I will.
Whatever. Tell him I love his suspenders. All right, I don't even know what that means. Don't they have
Can
suspenders?
you borrow your
Don't-
sex jacket, though?
Nah, it's way too big for him. He can use it as a car cover. All right, this is where we've been. Our
A
crib.
fire
Bob and
engine
I are
cover.
about to do ads for the actual hearing devices that we get from Austin. You go. You do it.
I'm
You
going to go.
start.
I've actually got an appointment.